Coach, I know you were talking the other day about, not liking having the outside noise, right? Wishing that you could just go back to not being talked about, but you are being talked about, right? So I'm just curious from your perspective, how do you coach through now being a targeted team versus not having that target at the beginning?
I mean, truthfully, your mentality shouldn't change. The way that we play, the intensity that we play with, the style that we play, that shouldn't change. To be honest with you, teams that have played us, we haven't been a surprise for a while now. So I think our focus needs just to continue to focus on us and how we play with that same chip on our shoulder and scrap the same way, play selfless basketball like we've been doing. So that really shouldn't change, based on opponent or, the outside noise.
And we just got the news that Caris will be out approximately 1 to 2 weeks, and obviously with Darius out too. How much does Rondo's role become even more important or change now that you're out with those guys?
It's going to be, a lot more minutes. Obviously, we still have to be mindful and taking care of him and protecting him. But the ball is going to be in his hands, and we've got to help him be the best version of himself. And we know what he's capable of. He and Darius aren't the same player. So we'll do things to help put the ball in his hands and put him in his spots, just like we've done for Darius. But we're going to need him to go get it and be who he is.
And then Larry was talking to us the other day about he's been out, and so he's been watching the games, obviously, what he can pick up. One of the things being, running out to the corner and making sure that he's being better at spacing, right? What are some of those little things that you guys are working on with him, or just maybe seeing him work on with Rondo at practice, or just that you're hoping to see with him back?
The spacing is, one of the most important things. He's a guy with a quick trigger and a high release who can get shots off that other people may not be able to get off. His size and length coming back to help us on the defensive end and making the floor more crowded, all those things. And again, it's been a while, right? So we're not expecting him to come back and be perfect. We expect him to come back and give the effort that he always does and play the same selfless style of ball that he does. But understanding what he's gone through and that it's going to take him a little bit of time to get back to full speed.
Chris Fedor, Acclimating, AJV.
What's up, Chris?
So we talked before the All-Star break about just the challenge of that pre-All-Star break finale game. What are the challenges that come with playing for the first game following the All-Star break?
It's the ramp up of intensity. It's the one over the break where, you have the opportunity to exhale a little bit. And then it's how do you come back? And hopefully, we were able to have a couple of days of practice, where you kind of get puckered again, and you're, because when the season is going, you're always in it, but when you have those breaks, there is that opportunity to exhale. So we just need to make sure, that collectively, we're mentally locked in and prepared to come out tonight against a team that's going to challenge us.
How challenging is the timing of the Caris injury, specifically from the fact that, he just got here, and one of your big plans in the second half was to try and acclimate him into everything that you guys were doing?
It's tough. There is no perfect plan, and, we just have to figure it out. I feel confident, in his personality and this group's personality that we'll work together to get it right. So I don't think it's going to take too long, to get him acclimated. I think it's the compounding of, Darius, Caris, and then the changes that you have to make to kind of, outlast that and then go back to doing what you really want to do. So, again, the good thing for us is, we've been a system team. We haven't just lived on, individual isolations and those types of things. Like we've had that ball movement, included everybody on the offensive end. So, that'll make it easier, and then he can just take the steps from there.
When it comes to role, without giving away too much, because you're not going to, some guys are comfortable starting, some guys are comfortable off the bench, and it's different for everybody. How much of your conversation with Caris over the last couple of days centered on that fact?
We had the conversation about it. We had more of a conversation about where he's comfortable on the floor and where he feels most confident. It's one of those things for, me as a coach, like you have to get to know guys in order to understand, how important that is. One of the things that Caris said in our first conversation is, you do what's best for the team. I'm very adaptable. So that again makes my job easier, but still we have to figure out what's best for Caris and what's best for the team. And that's going to take us some time. I don't think we're there yet. And then obviously, this injury is a minor setback in that, but we've got to get him comfortable because he's going to be a big part of what we want to do.
Thank you.
JV, is Lowry on like a minutes restriction for now coming back?
We'll pay attention to his minutes. Yeah.
And then obviously coming back, how do you because obviously he wants to, get back into it, sort of help him temper expectations coming back because you do want to watch that ankle as it sort of is back in the
Well, I mean, he's done a lot. I think a lot of what we're paying more attention to is, the fatigue, because you just haven't been able to play NBA basketball. And then obviously, the more fatigue you get, the muscles around and things, and you're putting yourself more at risk. So that's what we're more eyeing. We wouldn't put him out there if we didn't think the ankle was, structurally fine and prepared to go. It's more about the wind for him than anything. But, we expect him to go hard while he's out there, and we know that he will. So, just managing his blocks and the length of time that he's out there, and just keeping an eye on that.
Sure. When it comes to Darius with him, going through this treatment and rehab over the next couple of days, how did he take that news? Because I know he's somebody who obviously wants to play every single game.
I mean, he's frustrated by it, but he also wants to do what's best, long term. We still have a long way to go in this season, and there's a lot of games still to be played. And it's difficult when you're doing the ping pong in and out, back and forth. So we just want to make sure we put him in the best position we can, and give him an opportunity, to play long stretches.
Anything else from the room? You got last one?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Did the All-Star week get aggravated at all? Was that a concern going in or coming out that if Darius' participation in the weekend could be a problem with it?
No, I mean, we knew what to expect kind of through it. But again, our plan, started before the All-Star break and how we were going to manage it. And then understanding the amount of days around the All-Star break and how we could best manage that as well. And then, as we start back playing. So it was part of the plan. And we were aware of, the steps we wanted to take as we moved into it. Mm-hmm.
Last one, Marla.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Yeah, JV, is it true that Caris stepped on a teammate's foot? And how is he, how disappointed that he's got to be kind of down about this? How is he taking this?
Yeah, I mean, we were in practice Tuesday, and we were doing a little live stuff, and he did step on one of his teammates' foot, which in itself is a frustrating injury because it is random, but it happens and it's a part of it. He is obviously frustrated, but he's confident that he'll come back and be ready to go. But he does, miss the opportunity to go out with the guys and continue to learn how we can improve and how we can get better as a group. So, that is frustrating for all of us. But I know he'll put the time in and the work in to be ready when he's back as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, wrap it up, folks.
Thank you.
Everybody.